Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. And we are here in the next session of virtual team building, which the sessions are also going on virtually. So, now one thing still remains common whether we are working virtually or we were working in the physical office, that is the formation of the team. The way a team used to get formed, the way the team used to get created, that is still the same. The team, each and every team, whether it is a virtual team, whether it is a physical team, they have to go through different stages of forming. Now, if we just see the stages, if we just talk about the stages of team development, then there are basically four stages. Now, the fifth stage is the dissolution stage, which do not affect, which is not the part of each and every team, because the dissolution state is only for those teams where they are being created for a short duration. They are being created for some specific project, some specific purpose only. And there only they have been asked to dissolve once the project is being achieved. But most of the team in the organization are there to stay for a longer duration. Let's say they are there to stay even for a month, for a year, for a quarter, for 6 months, and maybe more than a month. So even if we are creating a team for a month, for a quarter, or for a year, each team, each and every team will have to go through different stages. In short, I can say that every person has to go through different stages of life. You cannot say that the baby can directly jump to the teenager age, and from teenager he or she can directly jump to the elderly stage. Or you cannot say that no, it's just directly going to be a child, teenager, adult, and the elderly. No, we cannot skip any of the stage from the life cycle of a human person. Can you skip, can you avoid any of the stage? No, we cannot skip, we cannot avoid any of these stages. A baby, toddler, child, teenager, adult, and elderly. These are basically the six stages of the life of every person. Now, you might say that, okay, it might happen that the person has not reached to the adult stage or to the elderly stage, but he cannot skip any stage in between. That is what I just want you to understand. Same way, from the cycle of the from the stages of team development, definitely they might not reach to the last stage of team development, that is the fourth stage of team development. But if they are reaching that fourth stage, they have to clear all the three stages of team development. They cannot say that we are directly going to jump to the second, third, or the fourth stage. If they are doing so, it is not making a strong team, because each and every stage has something important which they learn from that stage. Like, let's say when we are talking about this picture, as you can see, the baby toddler child, you can see that yes, baby is something who cannot explain, who cannot say anything. But when he becomes a toddler, he or she comes in a stage where he just be expressive, he try to communicate, he learn to communicate. So that stage is also very important. Then child, that means some more maturity is coming, the person is becoming bit self-dependent. Then comes the teenager, the life where we just enjoy, we have become more independent. When we talk about teenager, it is more like independency, that okay, we have become more independent. We uh, now we are not dependent upon the things, we're not dependent upon the parents, we are finding our own ways, we have developed our own thinking, we can decide what is good, what is bad for us. So this is how this teenager age has developed. Then the elderly. Now elderly stage means you are getting a lot of responsibilities which you are going to fulfill. Slowly you are getting those responsibility, you're working on for those responsibilities. So that is the teenager age. Then comes the the adult age. Then comes the elderly age. So now, when a person, a child cannot skip any of the stage, same way a team has to go through all these four stages of team development, that is forming, storming, norming, and performance. You cannot say just from forming stage till directly jump to the performance stage. No, whether a person agrees to it or not, they have to go through the storming and norming stage also, willingly or unwillingly, whatever it is, but they have to go through the storming stage. So, the storming stage, then the norming stage. These are all the four stages which we are going to discuss. And after the performance stage, the last, the fifth stage, which is not the part of all the team, that is the dissolution stage. The dissolution thing comes only when the team is being made for some specific purpose, for some specific projects, and then the team get dissolved. So for those specific purpose, the fifth step of the stage of the team comes, that is dissolution. Now, if we talk about the first stage, this is really a very important stage in team development. If people do not put efforts, if a leader do not consider this as an important initial stage of developing the team, there are very less chances that team is going to survive for a longer duration. Let's not go to forming stage. Let's just think that all of a sudden the people from different cultures, the people from different backgrounds, they all have come together. And now when they have come together, they all, they all are unaware about each other. They do not know each other. And without any kind of introduction, without having a general introduction, a casual interaction with each other, they start working together. Do you think that the basic of the team, which says forming, which says building of the trust, which says bringing people together, building relation, building bond, that thing is ever going to happen? Because the basic time, the most initial, the most crucial stage, that was when they could know each other, their skills, their knowledge, what kind of a personality the other person is, their background, their culture, just the basic outline, to create the bond with each other, to build the bond among each other. If they're not going through that stage, if they have been directly asked to start working, do you think that is going to create a strong team in that? Do you think the team is really going to deliver well in the organization as a team? No, because still they are not together as a team. They are still the group of individuals who are working together. And when we are talking about a team, it is not the group of individual working together, it is the group of people. It is a team who's working together. In an organization, if individuals work together to accomplish a goal, they won't be able to accomplish the goal, because each and every person's work in the organization is dependent upon the work of other person. If they are not working as per the dependency, they won't be able to achieve the results. That is why we say that forming stage is the one of the foremost and the most important stage of developing the team. It is one of the most crucial stage. And yes, one thing is for sure, that at this forming stage, no team get dissolved. because here they are not burdened. They try to pretend very good, very friendly with each other because they're not working on something. It is just the first and the foremost introduction which is going to happen amongst the individual. It is just the first basic introduction which is going to take part when they are at the forming stage. So determine what behavior will be acceptable to the group. Now, here, being a leader, your role is very crucial. Your role is very, very important because you have to determine what behavior will be acceptable. You have to identify, you have to find out the behavior of each and every individual in the team, that okay, what kind of attitude, what kind of behavior, from which culture the person belongs. It is very important because until and unless you do not find that which behavior will be acceptable, because here you do not have to decide a behavior on basis of one individual, rather you have to decide the behavior on basis of each and every individual. A common behavior you have to find out which will be acceptable by each and every person who is working there, who is the part of that team. So now, by observing each and every individual, you as a leader, the leader of the team, will have to find out that one best behavior which will be acceptable by all the people who are there in the team. Because it is very important that all the people should accept one common behavior, and then only you can make the team move effectively and smoothly. Express the need to agree on their purpose as a team, to set initial goals and to establish ground rule. Now, this is the right time when you have to express the need that okay, you all have to work together as a team. You all are a team. There is no individual who is the part of this team. It is the group of people all together who are the important part of this team. You have to make them agree on the common purpose. You have to express that need, that how important it is for all of you to agree to be together, to work together for the accomplishment of the goals of the organization, as well as for generating, delivering the good and effective results as a team. Then you, at this point of time only, in the forming stage only, you are supposed to set the initial goals, that okay, these are the initial goals which we have to achieve, these are the goals of the team. And when they are the goals of the team, that clearly said that they are the individual goals also. You have to match the goal of the team with the individual goals, so that the team can achieve the desired results effectively and efficiently. And here again, one of the most important thing, most crucial thing which you have to do is establish the ground rules, which are to be followed by each and every person who is the part of the team. Here you might be thinking that okay, when you are expressing the need, people are agreeing. When you are setting the ground rules, people are agreeing. When you are setting the initial goals, people are agreeing. You know why? Because at this stage, they have just to say yes. Okay, they are not doing anything practically that okay, this is affecting them. What effect it is going to create on them, so they are not working on anything like that. So it is always going to have a positive thing, a positive behavior which you are going to see of each and every individual who is the part of the team in the forming stage. Why someone is going to show the negative side? Because still they have not yet started working with each other. It's just they are simply nodding their head for whatever ground rules, goals, processes which you as a leader is deciding. They're simply nodding their head. So at this stage, things goes on very smoothly. It is not difficult to convince the people. People get convinced and accept whatever the leader is saying, whatever the group is deciding very easily. But next is the most difficult stage of team building. That is okay. Before going to the next stage, yes, when you start a new project, your list of tasks could include the following. Now, here we have discussed about what all things they have to go through. Now, here we have just created a list of things which you need to keep in mind when you are starting a new project. Again, the list of things, the first thing says, as soon as you select your team, as soon as you see people in your team, the first thing you have to focus on personal introduction. Each and every person in the team should be asked to introduce themselves, because by introduction it will give a briefing about the person, that okay, from which culture he or she belong, from which background he or she belongs. So for that, the first and the foremost thing which you as a team, which you as a leader will have to focus on is personal introduction. Now next, what comes the next? Team building exercises. How many of you believe that team building exercises are something which really brings the team close to each other? How many of you are of the opinion that yes, team building exercise is something which should be adopted and which should not be just in the forming stage, but it should be the regular practice of the team which they are following? How many of you believe that? Because if you are going to ask me personally, then yes, I do believe that team building exercises should be done frequently, because it is something which always brings the team close to each other. Team building exercise means you are having fun, you are getting to know the interest of your teammate, you are getting a chance to know your team more closely. So yes, it is again one of the way, if not at all these stages, but definitely at the initial stage, that is the first stage when you are forming the team, make sure you are coming up with some kind of team building exercises. And in many organizations, you will nowadays notice that yes, the leaders are focusing on team building exercises to bring team close to each other. Next is information about the process involve improvement project. Now, what project you are going to work on, information, start sharing the information related to that project, so that at the next stage when they will actually start working on that project, they will have some kind of idea that okay, exactly what we are supposed to do, what we have to do in this project. So it's not a detailed briefing, but yes, a kind of general briefing about the project, that what is to be done, how it is to be done, and why we have taken up the project, how important the project is for the organization. So just a normal briefing about the project. And just start discussing that, okay, this is the project we are taking, so what do you think, what are the ways by which we can improve our project? Start discussing, start involving them as an important part of the project by starting involving them in the discussion. Because if you are not involving them in the discussion, that belongingness, the sense of belongingness, that yes, this project belongs to us, this organization belongs to us, so that sense of belongingness will not develop if you are not involving them frequently in the project discussion. So start involving them in the discussion, because it is going to bring them close to the project, and along with that it will also help them to develop that sense of belongingness within themselves. Discuss around team roles and responsibility. Now this is the right time to just kick a sixer. Start discussing about the team roles and responsibility, that what role the person is going to perform, what responsibility the person is going to perform. Just a casual discussion. Okay, I'm not saying that at this stage you are supposed to assign them the roles and responsibility, but at least you can start discussing them, because you are just trying to them build in them the feeling of togetherness. This, yes, you all have to work together, all will be having different roles and responsibility, they will be accountable, responsible for their own specific roles and responsibilities. So start discussing, so that you will also get to know that which person is interested in what kind of role and responsibility. So start discussing around the team roles and responsibility, team norms for working together. That, okay, as you all know that we all will be working together, so we are going to set some basic norms, like basic norms as in the working culture, the frequency of the meeting, who is going to be accountable for the work, and what job role will suit for which person. So basic norms. So you start focusing on discussing about the roles, responsibilities, norms for working together. Because now, when you are discussing about the basic norms, so slowly they will get into that mode that yes, we all will be working together. We are a team. So to get them into that phase, you have to start discussing about these things at the very initial stage of forming only, so that they start understanding that it is no more me, I, it is all about we and us now, because we all are working together as a team, not as individuals. Introduction of which mode of communication to use for the project, to share idea and brainstorming. Nowadays it has become very important that which mode of communication, which platform you are going to use to communicate with each other. Because earlier we used to have face to face meetings, we used to discuss everything as and when we require help, but now when things have gone virtually, and we do not know that for how long it is going to stay, or maybe it is going to be the new normal. Let's say we talk about you, maybe for you it is going to be the new normal, where you'll be working from home at least for a part of week, you'll be just working from home. So there it is very important to decide the mode of communication, like which by which mode we are going to communicate, how we are going to share the information with each other, how we are going to share the update about the project. Because see, for each and every time you cannot just give a call to the concerned person and ask that, okay, what, tell me, what is the project update? You cannot do that, right? So for that, you need to have a platform that, okay, this is the common platform which we will be using. So whatever update you want to put related to the project, you can just update over here. So this way, it is going to be easy. Why it is going to be easy is because you do not have to inform each and every person separately. every person who is the part of the project will know that thing themselves, that okay, this is what the status is, this is what we have accomplished, and this is how much which is pending. Even for the meeting, you do not have to ping persons personally. You can just use that platform. You can just put on your query that okay, this is my query, this is where I'm struggling, so anyone who can help me out with this can reach out to me. So just finalize those mode of communication, the project status update software. There are many tools, many software which are being offered, which you can use for updating the project status for communication. Even you also have to decide that which mode of communication, which video conferencing mode you will be using for all kind of future communication, because you all know that, as I told you, that nowadays organizations are planning to go with the hybrid model. So there again, when they are going with the hybrid model, this is one of the difficulty which they will have to face, right? Which mode to use, because you do not have to use something which is full of features. Rather, you have to use something which is easily understandable by each and every person who's there in your team. So finalize all these things right in the beginning, right at the forming stage only. Do not wait till the end. So now, with the forming stage, the second stage comes is the storming. Storming, what do you mean by the word? If I just use the term storm, what do you understand by the term storm? So storming means a kind of jerk, a kind of argument, conflict, a heated environment. We can simply say that it is giving the rise to the heated environment in the team, within the team, isn't it? Yeah, it is creating, it is building that heated environment. So now this stage is very, very, very crucial stage. If a person is able to survive in this stage, then yes, he can survive in the next two stage. This is the most dangerous stage where most of the team are unable to come up from this. Most of the team get dissolved. Dissolution happen at this stage only because this stage requires lot of patience from the team members, lot of patience of the leader, the leadership qualities of solving the conflict, creating the environment of trust. Because here I can just say one thing, that this is a stage where you are going to see the true colors of the team members. In the previous stage, everyone was behaving very nicely, that we are good, because they were not supposed to do anything. They were agreeing to each and everything the leader was saying. Now, things are getting practical. They actually have to abide by whatever they have decided. So now it is becoming difficult. So if a team is able to survive at this stage, then you can say, then yes, the team is not going to get dissolved. The chances of dissolution reduces up to a great extent. So now why I'm telling you that this is the most dangerous stage of teen development, because first thing is here conflict among the team members start arising. because now practically they have started working with each other. They're going to see the different style, different ways of working. The true nature of the teammate is going to come out. So here, slowly they'll feel that yes, groupism have started in the team. The team has started divided into parts. The conflicts have started happening. So this is the most dangerous stage of team development, and every team has to go through this most dangerous stage. But once if the team has survived the storming stage, then we can say that yes, team is going to survive in long run also. So in a well-directed, open, positive team, members are asking questions, constructively challenging one another. So here what people are doing, they're asking questions with each other. They are openly questioning each other about the work the other person has done, openly challenging, openly questioning. And yes, definitely when they are challenging, so it is a kind of constructive challenge which they're doing. It is not just any random casual challenge which they are picking up, that okay, we are going to challenge you, we are going to challenge you in this way. No, it is not that. It is something genuine, something really constructive which is coming up. But yes, that is coming up. And now the team leader has to be really very active, proactive. I must say that not only active, he need to be proactive to find out all the reasons and just try his best to solve them as soon as possible. Because if team leader is unable to solve the conflicts, and if conflicts continuously persist, then it is going to be difficult for the team to survive together, to work together. Because for let's say this is a stage where people are questioning the team members for each and everything whichever is happening. That okay, this is not right, they're going to put the question for that, and the other person to whom they are questioning, they expect that person to answer. If the person is unable to convince them, or if person starts behaving in a different, in a rude way, it is very difficult to solve the conflict, and the team just get dissolved. The team and reaches to a stage where it is very difficult for even the leader to bind them together, to make them stay together. So at this stage the leader need to be really very smart at identifying the conflicts at the early stage and try his best to solve the conflict at the early stage only. Members may develop subgroups which feeds this conflict. So members will start attracting, let's say the conflict was between only two persons, but slowly they'll start attracting the people towards each other. They'll start creating groups. Now groups can be created on basis of the interest, and groups can be created on basis of the background, on basis of the culture from which the individual people belong. So yes, that is going to happen. And once the groupism starts in the team, it is very difficult for the team leader to convince, because see, convincing two people is easy, solving conflict between two people is easy, but solving conflict between the group of people is a challenge. So that is why we say that if team really wants to survive, if the leader really wants the team to survive, then for that he need to be very proactive in identifying the conflict, and he need to try his best with all the possible ways by which he can solve the conflict. because if conflict is solved before going to the last stage where team is divided into subgroups, it will be easy for the leader to bring back the team together again. But here one more thing is there: if the team is able to cross this storming stage, then you can say that now the leader have built a very strong team. No matter whatever happens, the team is not going to dissolve so easily, because this is the most difficult phase, this is the most difficult stage of team development. Teams that fail to experience storming never learns to deal with the differences. Now this is again one of the most important point, that if you find a team which is unable to cross the storming stage, or which skips this storming stage, you can say that it is very difficult for those teams to survive. They won't even learn how to deal with the differences. Yes. Now, next comes is the norming stage. Team members learn to resolve difficulties, to focus on the work at hand, and unhealthy potential for groupthink exists as well. So now when they have crossed that most difficult stage, the storm, which brought the storm amongst the team members, they have entered into the norming stage. So norming stage is not a difficult stage. Now here the people have learned that how we can solve the difficulties, how we can resolve the issues among ourselves. So it is not easy for them to divide into groups, to enter into the long arguments. And even if they are entering into any kind of argument, cross questioning, that isn't healthy thing, and all the people in the team takes that in a positive way, because now their entire focus is on working together as a team and delivering the best results and best output together as a team. They are not fighting amongst themselves, rather they are fighting together to deliver the team results, not the individual results. And here, when they have reached the stage, they have even learned how to solve the small conflicts. Now, here, leader need not to be very proactive to find out even the small conflict which is happening in the team, because team has learned how to overcome and how to solve those conflicts among themselves. So that is the norming stage. The third stage of team building. Here there are very less chances that the team enters into dissolution. Very nominal, very less chances of team going for dissolution. So here, if from storming the team has reached the norming state, that means the team is here to stay. And the last stage is performance. Now it's all about what performance they are giving together as a team. So performance, this stage is the payoff for the team members of the hard work. This is like together they have been working from so long. So what exactly they were able to deliver, how much they were able to deliver. So that is what is seen in this performance stage of the team. And in this performance stage of the team, they also deal, and they know how to deal with the conflict that arises in the team. They always do not need a leader, a mediator to solve the conflict. Challenging idea without getting personal. So at this stage, they even challenge the idea of each other, but they do not take it personally. They rather take it as a challenge, that okay, someone has challenged me. Let me just prove it to them that why my idea is best, or how my idea is going to deliver the best results. So that is the performing stage. They take collective pride in team success, and innovative problem solving is the hallmark of the smooth running team in the performing stage. So they have learned the new creative ways of solving the problem. They have learned that how together we are going to deliver the best, we are going to achieve the best. Everything they have learned. So this is the last stage of team building, that is the performing stage. And with this, we have come to the end of today's session. Now, in the next session, we will be discussing about something related to the team chemistry. Now, when teams are working virtually, we have learned how to bring the team together, but now it is again very important to know that how to bring team chemistry and what is team chemistry. Who can tell me what is chemistry? What is team chemistry? Okay, so this is what you need to find out, that what do we mean by team chemistry and how team chemistry plays an important role. Yes. Okay, then we are done with today's session. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day.